Hi guys, just Janice. Welcome to our Thursday train. Today I am painting with some milk paint. It's an off-white color. I'm using a plank board. I think I got this at Michael's. Yeah, it came in a 2-pack. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be putting a coat of gesso on, and then I'm going to put some milk paint on. And then I have transfers. This is from Dress My Craft. It is the kind, just like a tattoo, where you put it on upside down, put the water on it, and yeah, it transfers on. I have some other transfers. I'm going to show you how I just kind of create stuff. I may add other stuff. I'm not sure. I just pulled this stuff out so I could play, and that's what I'm going to do. So before I get started, let me ask you, please go back and watch my train buddies, Gert from Gert Creates and Dave from Dave's Acrylic-Creations. And then after me, please stick around because Julie from Art by Julie E will be up. So let's get this party started. Here we go. Okay, our next coat of paint on it, I'm going to be using milk paint in the color Ironstone. It's kind of an off-white color. And why am I using milk paint? Because it will give me that crackle, craze, chippiness, that really yummy kind of chippy, yeah. Anyway, I love doing it because I don't have to add crackle paste to it to get the crackled craze look I want. So we mix equal parts, the powder, water. We're going to get them in our little cup. We're going to mix them up. We're going to let them sit, and then we're going to get them on our little boards here. So here we go. Okay, so after about 2 or 3 coats of the milk paint, it got very, very, very chippy. I mean, quite a bit of chipping and crazing, and a lot of it, when I moved it, all I did was move it to look at it, and a lot of it fell off, which I understand, because I was going to sand some of it off anyway. But what I did to kind of seal, in fact, that just came off. What I did to seal a lot of it in is I was going to take it out and spray it, but I decided I'd put a coat of the mineral paint, the Fusion Victorian Lace color. Mineral paint is kind of like milk paint or chalk paint, but it has a sealer in it, so it doesn't actually like chip and craze like milk paint does, and when you get it wet, it doesn't really reactivate as much as milk paint does. So I put a coat of that on. So now I'm going to get ready. We're going to put, and I threw that. Let's get this on there, and I'll show you how I do that. Here we go. Alrighty, I didn't want to make you guys sit and watch me put all I fussy cut the different words, things I wanted from the stickers before I applied them. Sometimes it takes me a few hours. I'll stick one on, walk away, and then I'll come back and try something else. And sometimes I really think about it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just put things down, but all it takes to do these is, I cut one out and it lifts right off the backing. You lift it off the backing and it looks like a little plastic piece. And this is a piece of white cardstock. I just set it on where I want it. And then I take my little burnishing tool and rub it on, and you can tell on the paint when you do it, it's coming off really well because it starts to get a lot lighter. See there, it's getting a little bit lighter. And I just do it until I think, okay, it's ready to lift. Sometimes I need my picker because I'll cut them too small, but I'll just lift the plastic right off. And the cool thing about it is I'll use this to burnish. If I miss any, if I don't peel it all the way up in this specific thing that I'm doing, it's okay because I want it to be a little distressed looking. So that's all I do for that. And now I want it to look a little more distressed, so I will take my little 80 grit sandpaper and go in areas where I want it to be a little more distressed. This stuff is like plastic, all these stickers, and so you have to use like an 80 grit instead of like a 220 to make it look a little more distressed and make it look like it's a little worn, because I want it to look a little rustic before I seal it. And how I seal it, I'll come in with my Fusion wax. This is clear. And then I'll come in with the espresso and I'll use my little wax brush. So we're going to do that and I'm going to show you. So here we go. Okay, guys, done and done. It was fun. I know I say that about pretty much everything I do. I got the brown wax on over the top of the clear wax. Put the clear wax on first so we can control how much of the brown wax we wipe away. Found the nail heads in my Bobs and Bits. They are Finnabair Mechanicals. I think they still make them. I'm not sure, but I will find the link for them. The Tim Holtz Rub-On stickers. And yeah, it's got a way to hang it. And it's got a lot of chippy yumminess from the milk paint. So that is done for this week. So please stick around. Our Julie E is up next. And wherever you are, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Bye.